The NBA playoffs have honestly been living up to every bit of the hype so far, and it seems like night after night we're getting truly elite competitive basketball between teams fighting as hard as possible, which is all we can really ask for as fans. A few series ended surprisingly quickly, though, and for the topic of today's video, we're shifting our focus to the biggest name in the sport whose Lakers team has already been eliminated, being of course LeBron James. According to several reports, all signs point to LeBron James opting out of his contract with the Lakers this summer to become a free agent, and LeBron himself said on social media that his mind is not made up yet, meaning his future is completely up in the air, and with that being the case, it means we may see one last episode of The Decision go down this offseason. Today we're going to be discussing the 4 teams I believe are most likely to land LeBron James if he were to leave the Lakers in free agency, as they all have incredibly unique opportunities for him to compete for a title one last time, with connections to him already being established. Before we start though, it turns out a good amount of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but it also very much appreciate it. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first team that I believe is one of the top potential landing spots for LeBron James this summer is the Golden State Warriors. To LeBron's biggest fans everywhere, trust me, I know this sounds like blasphemy, but at least hear me out. The Warriors have been LeBron's biggest rivals throughout the entire second half of his career, with their dynasty being the ones that stood in his way on countless occasions at his best. But now, both the Lakers and the Warriors find themselves in a similar predicament, where their days contending at the highest level appear to be numbered, unless a huge swing is made. Joining forces would definitely send shockwaves through the basketball world, and it would also be the kind of move that keeps both LeBron's and Steph Curry's title window alive. LeBron's spoken about how he would love to play with Steph Curry at some point in his career in the past, and if it were ever going to happen, it would be now. He and fellow Clutch Sports client Draymond Green are also very close friends off the court, and the Warriors have proven they're not afraid to be bold when it comes to how they play their cards. Klay Thompson is also hitting free agency this summer, and there is notable tension between Thompson's camp and the Warriors front office, making it seem like they're ready to let him move on. Thompson leaving makes the money situation easier to navigate, but the Warriors still don't have the money to sign him outright in free agency, so this would have to be a sign and trade agreement to get it done, and a combination of Andrew Wiggins, Chris Paul, and maybe some draft compensation makes the money work in that regard. At this point in his career, going to the Warriors would be a move that would require LeBron to swallow his pride to team up with his biggest rivals, but it's a move that would absolutely tempt him greatly from a basketball perspective. The next team that I believe is a top potential landing spot for LeBron James this summer is the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder have been putting on a masterclass on how to rebuild in the NBA, and now they're the 1 seed in the West looking to make some serious noise in their first playoff run as a young core. I'd be shocked if they went all the way in year 1 together, but I would not be shocked at all if they became a juggernaut for years to come, and part of the reason for why there's so much optimism is because they basically have every avenue imaginable to get better at their fingertips. They've got a ton of cap space moving forward, with about $40-ish million to spend in free agency this summer, and they have a full treasure chest of draft picks over the next 5 years to either continue adding young talent or to package it in a trade for a star player. The only thing they're really missing right now is a high-level veteran talent that can bring the experience that young players need to continue developing at the highest level, and there isn't really a single better option for that than LeBron James. If they wanted to sign LeBron James outright in free agency, they could easily make a few small moves to make up the rest of the money that his contract offer would likely entail, and they're also an obvious sign and trade candidate because of how much they have to offer a team in a trade, being able to beat out any other serious bidders. At this point in LeBron's career, he has fully embraced the playmaking side of things, looking more like Magic Johnson during the final stretch of this year, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander could be the killer scoring talent LeBron has proven, to play great alongside, just like he did with Kyrie Irving and Dwayne Wade in the past. The Thunder were a top 5 team this year, both offensively and defensively. They've got the pieces and the depth already set up for success, and adding LeBron would make them the clear favorites to win the finals in 2025. So despite Oklahoma City not being a glamorous location for LeBron to go to like Miami and LA were, they're an obvious candidate for basketball purposes. The next team that I believe is a potential landing spot for LeBron James next season is the Cleveland Cavaliers. It always comes back to the hometown stomping grounds, right? His journey with Cleveland needs no explanation, as he started his career there, made a return to deliver a title there, and with an opportunity like this coming about, you can never count them out as a place for LeBron to finish his journey where it all started. He also made it clear in an interview with The Athletic before that the door is definitely not closed on a Cavaliers return. The Cavaliers have done a solid job rebuilding since he left and are now back firmly in the playoffs, but something still feels missing with this group. They're a dominant defensive team with an exciting backcourt in Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland who can create with ease offensively, but the front court is much more limited on the offensive end, and the small forward position specifically is the spot that needs to be addressed the most on this team, which is of course where LeBron could slot right in. There's been a lot of rumors swirling about Donovan Mitchell's future with the team being up in the air if the Cavs don't make a good run this year in the playoffs, so one easy way to quell any concerns he has is to bring LeBron James into the mix. Unlike the other teams we've talked about today, though, it would take more sacrifice to actually make a LeBron James addition work for them. Of course, if LeBron makes it clear that a return to Cleveland is what he wants, then a return to Cleveland is what he'll probably get. But it would take a sign and trade, and the Cavaliers would probably have to give up one of their better players, whether it be Jared Allen or Darius Garland or something along those lines, to make the money work. And it's obviously not the most ideal situation, but regardless, they'll still firmly be in the mix. And finally, the last team that I believe are a potential landing spot for LeBron James this summer is the Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers have basically been putting their entire focus on this upcoming offseason with every roster move that they have made lately. They are making it very clear that the summer of 2024 is where they plan to make some big swings in order to build a championship contender around Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. Unlike pretty much every other team we've discussed in today's video, the Sixers actually have the money to sign LeBron James outright in free agency without having to move pieces around to free up the cash, since they're the only team with that money, and the only other group that has more money than the Sixers to spend this summer is the Detroit Pistons. The Sixers tried to land LeBron James back in 2018 when he was last available. They called the Lakers leading up to the trade deadline this season, asking if a trade for him was possible, and the interest in pairing James with Embiid and Maxey will clearly still be there this summer. The Sixers have the money to sign LeBron and still add a few more pieces to the rotation with the cash that they have to spend. They have quite a few first-round picks available to be moved in other potential trades, and they can do all of this before Maxey's contract hits the books, since he is a restricted free agent this summer and his contract extension is imminent. From LeBron's perspective, he'll see a team with an MVP candidate in Joel Embiid and an elite rising scoring talent in Tyrese Maxey to make his life very easy. The Sixers desperately need more reliable playmakers, and with Tobias Harris and his behemoth contract finally coming off the Sixers' books, replacing him with LeBron James would firmly put them at the top of the East, or firmly in the conversation at least. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below where you think LeBron James should go if he leaves the Lakers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.